Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome you all to our Python beginners tutorial. And now, as we are on our chapter number 9, here we will be learning about functions in Python. Okay, so we will learn that how functions work inside our Python. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in my PyCharm and in the same project in which we do have worked in our last classes. Let's come here, let's right click, and from here I'm going to create a new Python file, and I'm gonna name this one as functions dot py, and let's click on enter right over here, and you guys can see that here this is basically being executed. And here, as you guys can see, I do have the place where I can write my code. First, we need to understand that what is functions basically. So functions is basically a set of codes which execute a particular action. Okay, so if I want to make some action inside my coding, then I will define that particular functions that I don't have to repeat that particular set of actions again and again. Okay, so it might sound a bit confusing at the beginning, but once I show you guys different examples, you guys will understand that in a better way. And to write a function, we do have to put on the keyword called def at first. Okay, like whenever you type def on your IDE or on your Python file, it will understand that, well, it is a function. Okay, so to write that one, as I've already told you, that you do have to type def, give it up a space, and now the same way how we name a variable, we need to name a Python, like we need to name a function as well. Okay, let's say I do want to name this one as saying underscore hello. Okay, so I do want to name this one as saying hello, and now I'll just open parenthesis right over here, and to signify this one I have to close this one with a colon. Okay, so as you guys can see now, the function name is saying hello, and once I'm keeping my mouse on top of this keyword here, you guys can see it is showing that this is a function. Okay, so now you need to understand that when we are writing a function, and if I click on enter, if I do want to go on to the second line, my function should be indented. Okay, so let's click on enter, and here you guys can see this particular line of code, it's not starting from here. Instead, it is indented over here. And here you guys can see it shows that indent is expected as this is a particular function. Okay, but if I come here and if I start typing from here, it won't be a function anymore. Okay, so if I just come here and if I start typing from here without any indentation, Python file will understand that, well, it is not inside a function. And whatever comes after this colon, if I just click on enter and till the time it's indented, it will understand that, well, all the functions which is right over here, it is inside the particular function, and we won't execute till the time the function is not called. Okay, so now let's come here, and if I just type print, let's open parenthesis, and now let's open my colon, and I will just type hello people. Okay, so let's type hello people right over here, and as you guys can see now, inside my saying hello function, I want to print hello people. Okay, and let's click on enter, let's create few more lines over here. Okay, and now if I just come here and if I just click on run, you guys will see a strange thing. Okay, so here you guys might be thinking, well, here in the function you do have told to print, but here now once you have run your particular code, it doesn't print anything. Okay, so kind of strange, right? But the thing is that in function, whenever we mention any particular function, that actually contains a lot of code. As you guys can see here, it contains this particular text. But if I want to recall that, I need to make sure that I mention that I want to run that particular function. Okay, so over here now, as I do have this function, let's come here, and now over here, let's call this saying hello function. Okay, so over here now, I will just click on to this saying hello. And if I just run this particular code right now, you guys can see the text which I had inside the saying hello function is being printed right over here. Okay, so this is how it actually works. So now let's say inside this saying hello, sometimes what we want to do is we want to take information from here, or we want to provide information to a particular function. Let's say I want to type a same set of things quite many times. Okay, so here I can basically loop. Otherwise, I can give out some information right over here as well. Okay, so let's say over here I am telling in my saying hello function what are the things that I will be providing. Okay, so let's come here. So I'll be providing him a name. Let's give it a comma. Otherwise, let's see with this one at first. Okay, so now as you guys can see, I'm telling over here that I will be providing name. Okay, so this is the parameter name. Okay, so now let's come down, and over here, let's say instead of hello people, I will come here. Let's just delete this. Let's come here and let's give it up a space, and let's put on the plus sign. Let's give it up a space as well. And I will just type name right over here. Okay. So inside this particular function, whenever I'm calling underneath, I need to make sure that I do put out the parameters which I do have provided right over here. So let's say, let's come here, and now I will tell Nolan. Okay, so here, if you guys take a look, here I do have defined my function. So under saying hello function, I do have told that the parameters which I'll be providing. Okay, so here you guys can see the parameter name is name, and also I'm telling to print that hello, and also whatever parameter I am putting on when I'm calling that particular function. Okay, so now let's come here, and if I just run this code here, you guys can see it says hello Nolan. Okay, so if you do want to create up a space, let's come here, let's put up some space, let's run this one again, and here you guys can see it's showing me hello Nolan. So I can come here and I can just do the same thing right over here as well. Let's come here, let's type David, and if I just run this particular code here, you guys can see it shows me hello Nolan, hello David. All I'm changing over here is the value inside my particular function which I was supposed to provide. Okay, so this is how a function basically works. So it is just a set of codes, and whenever we recall those particular codes, we can execute this thing right over here. Okay, you guys can put multiple parameters right over here. Let's say over here I want to put out name and location, let's say. Okay, so name and place. So I'll just come here, hello Nolan, and now let's give it up a space, and I'll just put another plus sign. Let's give it out a space right over here. Let's open my double quote, and here I will just put out a comma, and I'm gonna tell hello you, or let's come here, you are from, and again I'm gonna come here, let me just give this out a space over here again. And now again what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put out a plus sign, and again I'm going to give the name of place right over here. Okay, so as this one is a variable inside my function, so let's come here, and I'm telling that first I will be providing a name. then I'll be providing a place. And when it's starting to print, whenever I recall this particular function, it will print that hello, their name, and the location they're from. So let's come here and over here. Now let's put out a comma. Now if I will just open and now I will just type London, and the same way, let's come here and I'll just give a comma. Let's give it out a space. Let's open my double quote, and over here I am going to type Amsterdam. Okay. So as you guys can see right over here, I am providing two values. So the first one is basically name, which I have mentioned inside my function. And the second one is basically the place, which also I do have mentioned inside my functions. So if I come here and if I just run this functions file here, it says, hello Nolan, you are from London. And the same thing over here, it tells that, hello David, you are from Amsterdam. So function is quite important because the same thing, let's say if I wanted to print the same thing, what I had to do is I had to run this code again and again. Okay, so let's say now 2, 3 you guys can basically do. But when it comes around 10, 12 or sometimes around 50 or 100 times you have to run the same code, it actually increases a lot of time, and functions basically shortens that particular time down and makes your code quite simple. Okay, so the same way, let me just come here, let me just copy this one, Control C, Control V to paste it. Let's come here, instead of David, let's put corner. Okay, so I'll just put corner and I will just type Brighton. Let's come here and let's put out this one, and now let's run this functions Python file. And here you guys can see now I do have the same kind of answer but with different values as mentioned in my functions. So yeah, I hope you guys to have understood this particular class on how you will be able to use functions inside your Python file. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.